I had warned you guys that there were some fairly large changes to the farm coming, and you know, my dad's aging, kind of shifting some things around, and I've been buying more of the machinery lately. I've owned the combines. He owns one header, I own the other, but that's a big change. We're no longer running, well, we still have them, still have one of them. No longer running deer planters. And as you can see, I got a whole different outfit pulling it now. First and foremost, big thank you to LDI and Smith Center for helping me get this whole deal put together. This is pretty much exactly what I was looking for in a planting rig. I started looking for a planter first, actually, way back after planting season last year, because it was time to update. And didn't actually buy the planter first, but had some things being arranged, figured I'd have something coming. But in September, on our way back from Half Century of Progress, I spotted the white 6215 workhorse here on Tractor House, and conveniently was at LDI in Salina. And I just called my LDI salesman in Smith Center, said, hey, what's the deal on this tractor? The price on it was $49,500. I pretty much said I'll take it, and kind of arranged credit, because I can't just afford that outright necessarily. But then I'd already told him I was looking for a white 9812 planter, because I wanted a 12-row center fill just so it matches my combine and header better, and 24 rows just too big for a lot of our fields. So white 9812, white Massey Ferguson 9812 planter it is. And this one actually came from LDI and Smith Center, or Salina area too, but I worked with Dallas out of Smith Center on all this stuff. And I think this is a 2014, it's a 1997. But I think this thing has just a hair under 6,000 hours on it. We got a little bit of work to do to the tractor, and we can talk about all this stuff here. That's just kind of introducing you to what we're up to. And in the past, I had not really shared a lot about what goes on the farm day to day here, because a lot of machinery isn't mine and just don't like to share it. You can look at John Deere's and boxcar Magnums all day long on YouTube, but you don't see this on YouTube every day. But yeah, the planter I think was $74,000 outright. We traded in my dad's 1770 NT 16 row. He still has small share in this, I guess. We traded his 16 row John Deere 1770 NT planter on it. It was just a box planter, pretty basic hydraulic drive. At the end of the day, I also got a bunch of ag leader parts for the tractor and the planter, because I prefer ag leader stuff, just kind of how I am running non-conventional branded stuff. I like ag leader because it works good in my combines, my tractors, and everything else. But we can walk around this here more and talk about it. Yeah, big old white 6215, fully weighted on the front. Front tires are probably about 30 to 50% tread. Rears are 75 to 85%, I would say. Hey, Blue. But this tractor, yeah, came out of the Salina area. You can see there's an oil leak underneath we're gonna have to talk about here in a minute. Easy solve, just annoying. But I believe it was sold new in Iola, Kansas at Storer Equipment Company Incorporated. Guy traded this in. It took a while to get the tractor deal done, because he was trading in on a Versatile, and then somehow the Versatile thing went south, and basically that never materialized. We ended up trading in for a different tractor, and this is mine now, essentially. I'd actually been waiting to get the tractor since September, essentially, and finally got to pick it up last Thursday or Friday or something like that. But nothing fancy on the tractor side of things. We'll look more in the cab here in a minute. Came with a quick hitch on the back. I've got the jack stand down in the planter because I need to put cylinder seals in the 3-point lift cylinders. Doesn't look like they'd really been used recently. That one just absolutely pours oil out, which is unfortunate. Just 3 remotes here, but I don't need that many remotes to run this planter, and there's a reason I went with this setup kind of planter. The 8300 over here shelled out a hydraulic pump. Was that 2 years ago? In the middle of planting, right at the start of planting milo, we'd done all the corn and most of the beans, and it shelled out a hydraulic pump. And it was DOA until July to get the pumps, or to get a new hydraulic pump from Landmark. I don't think it was their fault. The pump was back ordered for it, so I actually finished planting with the Boxcar Magnum back there in the 12-row box planter of Dad's. Did about 1,200 acres with it. And then last year at the start of planting season, still having more hydraulic problems with that tractor. And I started planting again with the Boxcar and 12-row and got about 1,200 acres done that way. And then the 8,300 was finally ready to roll, and we finished the season with both of them operable. But that tractor at the end of the year was again acting up during planting, doing some really funky things, and I decided I was done trying to run it on a planter. And I don't know, I just wanted my own planting tractor, and planting setup essentially was a lot of it too. It's time to transition some of this stuff, and so time for me to spend money and not Dad, essentially. And with that, all the planter, the positive pressure and the vacuum for the seed delivery system is all run off the PTO pump, so I don't have to tie up remotes on the tractor, because it used to take 5 remotes when we were still running markers and 4 last year to run our planter. Now it takes, or that Dad's deer planter, now it takes 2 and a PTO pump, which I'm good with. I'm totally good with running a PTO pump on this deal. Should work out fine in our situation. Yeah, 18442s on the tractor. It's a big 1,000 PTO. I might have to get an adapter to run my small 1,000 pump. Looks like we can surely figure that out. I'm not a dumb person by any means. No big deal. Yeah, white planter, 9812 12-row center fill. It is a hydraulic drive planter. Currently, no row clutches on it, and chain drive meters. After talking to some AGCO guys that know these things, I was kind of learned that I did not want shaft drive planters, or like the shaft drive meters like I'd been so used to on John Deere's, because they were prone to failure with row clutches on them. So I'm just going back to chains, I guess. And well, it'd be easy to diagnose problems if chains pop off, I guess. I have all the ag leader parts here for this to put row clutches on it though. So it'll do point rows and all that stuff nice. Already has Copperhead plastic closing wheels on it. It's got in-furrow precision, I don't know, something. I'm bad at knowing that stuff. I've never actually ran a planter with fertilizer on it. So we're going to learn this year together. But yeah, in-furrow precision smart firmers. I don't know. But the tail wheel assemblies here have already been updated, or the tail wheels haven't been updated, but the parallel arms have precision planting solutions, bushings in there and everything like that. So this is actually like the tightest row units I've ever been around, because even stock Deere were not this tight. So loving that. Gauge wheels look good. Disc blades look really good. They finished, you can tell they did double crop Milo with this last season in the Salina area, and I know it was wet when they did that. So yeah, she's a little dirty, messy, but these actually have 16-inch disc blades in comparison to Deere that are 15. So loving that side of things. Just a good planter. It's a little dirty, that's fine, but you know, I don't ever really take a power washer to my planter either. You can see my fun hydraulic leak I'm gonna have to deal with, just part of it. Looks like I got a low tire to deal with too. Normal planter things. Really, I should switch this thing over to some probably heavier ply tires, but it's got 1000 15s all the way around on it, looks like. Get a little dirty from fertilizer and whatnot, but that's okay. In the future, I kind of plan to actually dribble fertilizer out the back at like a high rate, like 10 gallon an acre or more, and probably pull a tank. This year we're going to put it in furrow and put like 2.5 gallon of 1034O or something like that. Nutrients, Black Max, whatever the hell it is. And some of my wife's tracer mineral stuff, dribble that in furrow. But this is all entirely new to me. I've never been around a center fill planter in my life. So we're going to get educated fast on this, whether I want to or not. And really, truthfully, next year I might run 2 products, running in the tank on the planter in furrow, and then pull a tank and put it dribbled out the back. Or we can really play with that, because there's some stuff you don't want in furrow at all that I would like to still get down myself. And we're mostly dry land, like 95% dry land farmers. So, you know, we're not putting down a ton, but 10 gallon an acre will cover a lot of my fertilizer needs for a year. And I personally hate spraying. And so your options kind of for putting down fertilizer are with tillage, with a planter or streaming it on, or you can spread dry too, but that doesn't incorporate well, especially the Foss around here without the tillage portion. And we try not to do too much of that. We do it usually every year after beans, before Milo is when we're doing our tillage generally, and I still have like 600 acres of that to do this year. But I am quite tickled with this. I need to figure out how in the hell to even hook all this stuff up and unfold it, because I still don't have any of that set up at all, because I would like to get this unfolded and on the ground so I could, maybe start working on this here. I need to pull it over inside the windbreak, but I pulled it out here today just to show you guys. It's going to be a learning curve for me, but we'll get it figured out. Worst part of my year is I jump in first and do the irrigated corn first. So we're going to have this thing pretty dialed, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to know what the heck I'm up to when the time comes, for sure. But still really pleased with this. I have to order seals and take that big old cylinder out, which I'm not really looking forward to, but that's just the way farming goes, and I can't afford a brand new tractor, so we're doing it with something from 1997. And really, like, that's a 97, the box car is a 96. That's okay. In the future, I'm definitely going to try to paint all my wheels and cover up that ugliness. I'd like to get LED lights ordered for this thing the whole way around, just to make my life a little better. Firestone rubber, yeah. I think it was sold again at a Durham GNR implement by the looks of things, but who really knows? And it could use a bath. Like, it's a little dirty. You can see a little scummy, dirty stuck on it there, and top of the hood's kind of dirty too. But really cool. You don't see, I mean, I'm the only guy, I know one other guy around here, two other guys within like a 30-mile radius running white planters. And white tractors, you won't see another one of those for quite a while. And I wanted the big one, 6215. I almost bought a white 195, but decided I needed to go just a hair bit newer. But up in the cab, I mean, it's kind of basic. Probably not quite as creature comforty as the 8300, but very much like a boxcar Magnum, in my opinion. Buddy seat leaves something to be desired, but that's okay. The motor's an 8.3 Cummins in this, and then the transmission's a Funk Deer, what would actually be like in a Genesis New Holland. So pretty proven stuff, like a great combo of horsepower, in my opinion, and parts availability and stuff like that. But it's an 18-speed power shift. You just, forward, and then you got 18 forward, and then reverse is right there, and I think you got 9 in reverse on this. Throttle's right there, 3-point controls. That's diff lock there, I believe. Front wheel assist is over here. Nothing too wild. Yeah, I drove this home from Smith Center. Can you tell? Didn't really clean the cab out after I got home because I had things to do. But one of the things I hated most on the 8300 was the AC system, because it was down here on the dash and it was always plugged up, even though I cleaned it like twice a year. This up here, blowing right in my face, lovely. Yeah, not a lot to report here. One thing I did notice, it's not on 30-inch rows, which it's on like 36 on the back, which kind of sucks. I need to get it slid in to 30-inch for planting, but I might not get it done. And we're just going to plant with it as it is. If I get a bunch of rain days or something, can always pull it in and slide stuff in too and get it on blue. Get it on 30-inch for myself. One other kind of flaw, but we can deal with, is the tack is not working currently. I had all the stuff sent to Ag Express, and it all tested fine there on the bench for them, but wasn't able to make it work here. So I need to figure out a way to put a tack in it, maybe, if I get a chance. And I know the radio doesn't work either. Big sad. So maybe we'll get like an Apple CarPlay setup or something to put in it. But overall, for the money, to be able to put, a 12-row center fill planter together and, a 200, this is basically a 250 engine horse tractor, which is bigger than either of those two guys over there, actually, together for under 125 grand is pretty good. I mean, really, truthfully, I know, we could have gone newer, probably on the tractor, a little bit on the AGCO side of things. But then like the next series newer had a lot of electrical problems, a lot, and I didn't really want that at all. The series after is when the CVT started, and you can no longer get a white. I didn't really care about white Challenger, AGCO Alice. I just wanted something AGCO based. Essentially, just lucked out and found this white, so I have a matched pair essentially. But the next series newer is CVT tractors, and they get a lot more expensive pretty fast. Generally, those are 70, 80, 100,000 plus. And so this works for me well, I think. I have a couple little codes here in the cab I need to figure out. Doesn't seem to stop the operation of the tractor, which is good. But definitely some things we need to look into in the near future, I would say. Don't know what else. I'm excited about this. It's a kind of a new avenue for me. Totally new brands for us around here. I mean, I've had a few white tractors through here. We've never had anything on this farm besides John Deere planters recently. Kinsey, we ran Kinsey from about 2000 to 2015, I think, or 2013. So we ran a lot of Kinsey. Then we go back into like the John Deere 7000 series planters, and like Dad goes back to like the 6-row 71s planting milo. We didn't really grow corn around here until the late 90s, early 2000s on dry land anyway. So my dad didn't have a large need for much of a planter essentially, besides just putting in milo, and so just different stuff essentially. But with that, you can kind of tell me your opinions. Did I lose my mind? I mean, I might have lost my mind on this, but we'll be okay here. It'll work one way or another. We're gonna hook the Dad's 12-row Deere box planter, which is real basic, onto the 8300 this year. That way it doesn't require a lot of hydraulics on that thing, because all it's got to do is run vacuum, constant flow. It's not that much. And then like the Magnum, we're gonna keep to do tillage. And then obviously I got the Versatile around here. Now I'm gonna use it to do some tillage, hopefully here real quick. And then really, if I could get my shit together and get the 4386 International over there with tires and stuff on it, fix some stuff on it, it could do tillage as well in the future, which was kind of why I bought it. I still have the little 6-row 7000 series planter of mine as well. We'll use that some on small patches, I would assume, of mine, or fill skips like I did on a few places last year. But this is a totally different direction for me. And I'm a IH guy, but I don't really like the local Case IH dealers. But I get along great with my AGCO dealers locally. So this is why I went with what I went with. Parts availability on the white planters is pretty amazing, actually. There's some good aftermarket stuff for them. They're just kind of one of those planters that everybody seems to forget exists. Kinseys are really expensive. I didn't want a John Deere. I don't know anything about Case IH planters, and they're not really all that popular around here. So white, I mean, it's kind of like basically a John Deere planter, just a little bit more overbuilt, which is what I was going for. Metering system's different. I'll have to learn that. The tractor, I might have gone way off the deep end, but we're going to make it work. But overall, very, very excited about this whole setup. It's a big change for me. We're going to have fun. We're going to figure it out either way, but I got quite a bit of work to do here before the end of April, so we can plant come about the 1st of May. Today's April, I don't know, 7th, I think. Got some work to do, but we'll get her done. Work always gets done somehow, right? But very, very excited. We're going to bring you more of the farming stuff. Try to do weekly updates of what's going on with the farming now that it's more my stuff than Dad's, essentially, was kind of my thoughts. That's just, you know, we're going to try to do more farm stuff, share more of that. There's always lots of stuff going on around here. I'm not going to show cattle stuff because you assholes threw a big fit about net wrap. And I don't understand that, because grinding bales, commercial hay grinders, they're not going to let you waste time pulling net wrap off to every single bale. So sorry, but I'm going to grind the net wrap. Just the way it is. You're going to see it come out in the feed wagon and whatnot. We've been doing it for years. Hasn't really hurt our cows to date, but you guys can be angry about it, but is what it is. You can call me lazy. It's not going to bother me, but just how it is. I pick up the net wrap when I unroll the bales. Make sure the cows don't eat it. But like when you're grinding hay, they're not going to let you waste time at all. So that's what that is. But lots of good things to come, guys. It's going to be it here. We got a good video for Friday of something really cool that came home this week, or yesterday, actually. Got a lot of work to do on this. Going to hopefully get some video of working on this. But that's going to be it here, guys. Please be sure to come out to the SPPA Tractor Show, April 24th, 25th, and 26th. Poker runs the 25th, registration, 24th, registration starting at 5:30. 25th is the normal full tractor show. I think we do pancakes in the morning and then just the normal show demonstrations and stuff to follow. We'll have some stuff going Sunday too. We do have a tractor pull Saturday afternoon with a meal as well. But you guys take care. I'm on all the social medias. It's at Team Monty IH. Website's territorialtrading.com. Join the Hams Beer Club. It's $4.99 a month. It helps fund this and me drinking my sorrows away because you guys give me shit about NetWrap. And but that's it. You guys have a good one. Take care. Go drag something out of the weeds and get it running.